Good afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this, you are checking in. Let's talk about a doozy today, because this is the one that is the other pandemic we're involved in, and that one is domestic violence. Um, I've had my experience in domestic violence. I'm not going to lie to you. Uh, I've never laid hands in anger on a woman. However, I have pushed to, and that was to defend myself. And you can take that how you want. Um, I did what I felt I had to do with doing as little damage as possible. But I'm going to say that my experience in domestic abuse is with my real father and my mom, and he was a drinker and would be verbally abusive and act like a crazy horse's ass because he was also partly bipolar. I know he's gone now, but my mom had a good presence of mind to leave him, and I'll get into how she was able to do that later. But then she remarried, and this guy was abusive to me, verbally, mentally. He made it very clear that I was just extra baggage that he didn't really want, but I just happened to come with my mom. And he's gone now as well. But, and also his family was pretty much the same way. I was immediately treated like the redheaded stepchild. I wasn't redheaded, by the way. But it was, more than apparent that I was unwanted. But that's fine. um, but right now, there's really a pandemic of domestic violence going on, and that is, of course, because of the pandemic. We're stuck in our houses. My mom was able to leave. This is many, many years ago. Mainly because she had a place to go, because she had her own income, because she had her own money, because she had her own car. A lot of women or victims are not that lucky. Their abuser controls all of that. They control the car. Everything's in their name from the house to the water. They control the phones. They control the internet. They control who they talk to. And this is just going to be magnified by having to be in that environment for a lot longer period of time because you're not supposed to leave the house, right? So there's a rash of this shit going on, and it's not good. There are places you can call, um, and I really want to focus on the abuser though, and I'm not. It's going to sound peculiar, but I don't judge people, and if you are an abuser, I'm not judging you. All I am pointing out is that you do need help. Okay, you don't have to be the way you are. More often than not, abuse is passed down from generation to generation. It's a cycle. You can break that cycle. Just because you saw your dad or mom act that way toward your mom or dad does not mean you have to repeat the same thing. Because your kids are seeing that and they're going to pass it down. And it's just going to keep going on and on. There's a lot of things that you can do to stop. Um, First is realizing there's a problem. Understand that that person that you're abusing does not want to be abused. This isn't a dom sub relationship where the sub is the one who actually has the power, even though you're the one holding the flog. No, you are taking away that person's humanity. You are making them feel less than a person. You are hurting them. And no matter how much you think you want to stop, if you may not be able to on your own, and that requires outside help. Even if it starts with a hotline, even if it starts with, outpatient therapy. It's available. Get it. And you know what? Like I said many times before, a person will not seek help unless they want it. I cannot tell you the few times that I've stepped in, because I have a Captain Save a Girl complex, that I've stepped in and helped a woman who was, being tormented by an abuser only to have her go back a week later or less. And of course, that comes down to the abuser controlling everything. It's a scary thing to just drop everything you've got and get away from a major issue like that. It's a hard thing. You're gonna ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? If I leave this person, where am I going to be at? Am I going to be homeless? I've got kids. What am I doing with them? I can't leave them with him. And, it's a shit situation. And I don't have all the answers, and I wish I did. And I wish I could be more proactive. But I've learned that, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. So I'm not asking victims to leave their situation. I'm asking abusers to stop putting their victims in that situation. It used to be no means no. Now it's yes means yes. This is the same kind of thing. Understand it as a human being that you are treating, horribly. And yes, you were probably taught that. And in a way, you are a victim as well. But don't pass that shit on. Try to be good to people, especially your spouse. They chose you for a reason. They saw something really good in you that made them say, I want to be with this person the rest of my life. And you're completely and utterly betraying that. And, abusers, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying that you can be a better person. And in being a better person, you can better your children's lives, you can better your spouse's lives, and you can better your life. I'll reiterate again, I'm not an expert in this situation. I've seen what I've seen, I've experienced what I've experienced, and that's what I'm speaking on, are those experiences. But this also comes down to, and I'm not saying shaming, it doesn't come down to shaming, but it comes down to calling people out. If a guy or a girl had to sit on the couch at 5 years old and watch one of their spouses or one of their parents abuse the other one for years and years in any, way possible, they are not going to know any better. They're not going to think it's right, but they're not going to know not to do it. That's kind of a weird contradiction. A lot of people think, common sense would dictate, but feelings do not abide by common sense. Habits don't abide by common sense. I have the common sense now to know when to step in and when not to, by the way. If a woman wants help and asks me for it, and I'm convinced she actually wants it, I'll give it to her. Or a person, even. Sorry, I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to keep things gender neutral. But if they want help, and I know they want help, I'll give it to them. Now, if they're just calling to vent, which some do, I'll know not to get too involved. I'll give the advice I can give. I'll try and point them in the right direction. But you cannot lead a horse to water. Wait. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Botch that up. It's a touchy subject, but if you know someone's being abused and see if they need help. If they don't accept it, then what can you do? You know, you've done what you can. You've reached your hand out, and they didn't grab it. Forcing help on people does not help at all. All that does is make them go back even harder to what they came from, no matter how bad it is. I know that for a fact. But I mean, everyone knows someone's being abused or not. Everyone, just like everyone knew Harvey Weinstein was a rapist, and they made jokes about it. Everyone knew. It wasn't a secret in Hollywood. All right, the people down the street from you, everyone in the neighborhood knows what's going on in there. Even if it is behind closed doors, you know. Don't be afraid to reach out a hand, but don't get yourself hurt either. That's my message for today. Hope you all are having a good one. I'm about to go into work as usual. I just had a day off yesterday. It was nice. Spent too much money. But, you know, I had a good oxytocin mutual release, so I'm feeling alright. Take care of one another, watch after one another, police each other to the best of your ability without overstepping your bounds, and that's hard to do sometimes. But we're all we've got. Remember that. And if you're watching this, you're checking it.